Now after making this object editable, so let's select those points, hit Ctrl A, right click and choose optimize. Now I'll select those points, I'll go to the rectangle selection, or before that select this, hit Ctrl A to select all of them, and now we will go to the front view and press S to focus on this. Now right click and choose, let's say, loop path cut over here. Now I'll create one point over here, and let's select this point over here. Again select one point over here and one point over here, like this. Okay, now we need to follow this procedure again. One point over here, again one point, again one point, and again one point. Okay, after that we will follow this procedure again. One point, one point, one point, and one point. Okay, so basically our main portion is done. Now I'll select these points, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to select my rectangle selection. I'll select this much points, then select this point by holding shift, then select these points by holding shift. Okay, and press T for scaling option and scale it like this, totally downwards, and then press T and let's decrease it like this, so it should be over here. So if I see this thing now, I'll get this kind of structure. Okay, now after that select this, hit again right click and choose loop path cut, and we will create one edge over here. Now select those points and select rectangle selection, and we will select these rectangles, selections, and press T and decrease the size like this and increase the size like this. Let's increase the size again like this. Okay, now select those rectangle selections. I'll select these points, move this downwards, select this, move this over here, select this and move this over here. Okay, so we will get something like this. I think this looks quite weird, so I'll select these points and press T to increase the size, and let's move this over here. Okay, this looks good to me. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to choose my splines, and I'm going to select this arc over here like this, and press R for rotation, and let's rotate it like this up to 90 degree. Now we have created this, but if you see there is no segments on height. So for that what we can do, so we can simply select this and simply select, let's say, right click and choose loop path cut over here, and by holding shift I'll create one segment over here, and let's increase the numbers. Again by holding shift select one and increase the numbers, create one over here and let's increase the numbers, create one and let's increase the numbers like this. Okay, so we have created something like this. Now let's select go to the deformers, and we will choose spline wrap. Now select the spline wrap and move inside the cylinder. Okay, and fit to spline, and now we will select this arc and we will move this towards the spline. But if you see, this looks quite weird, so let's try to change the axis to -x. It looks different. Choose positive y, so we will get something like this. Okay, so this is how our hand is created. And if you want to minimize the size, you can simply select this arc, press T and decrease the size, so it will automatically minimize it. Okay, now I'm going to select this arc, select the cylinder and select this spline, right click, and I'm going to simply connect object plus delete. Okay, so now this is my arc, and we can delete this arc also. Now I'll select this and I'll go over here and try to adjust it over here, and try to adjust it over here. Press T if you want, then you can decrease the size of it. It's totally up to you. Okay, like this. Now let's go to the move graph and I'm going to choose my cloner. Let's select this arc and move inside this cloner. Now select this cloner and try to move this over here like this. Now right now it's linear, so then I'm going to choose radial, and let's change the plane to, let's say, XZ like this. Okay, and now go to the transform and let's try to change the rotation to 90 degree on heading. Okay, let's select this cloner, go to the object and let's increase the radius like this. Now select this cloner, let's move this over here and move this over here. So now we will get this kind of hand. Okay, so now select this hand, this arc and this cloner, hold Alt G to create entire group. Now double click to create it and let's call it as hand. So our hand structure is ready. If you hit Ctrl R, we will get this kind of hand. Now I need to create one handle over here. So for that, what we can do, we can simply select cylinders. Let's decrease the size of it. Let's move this over here. Let's try to adjust it like this. Let's go to the object and increase the segments to, let's say, 20. Let's decrease the size again. Now let's try to adjust it over here like this. You can select this pair and can move this a little bit outward also. So what will happen, that because of that we will get a little bit more control for the hands. Let's move this over here. Now select this and let's try to move this over here. Okay, now I'll select this hand and I'll move this over here. Press R for rotation and rotate it like this. Let's try to move this over here. Press E and adjust the position. Press T and decrease the scale like this. Let's try to adjust it properly. So if you see this thing now, I'll get this kind of hands.